What's up, everybody? It's your boy Sage Jones, a smart investor, and I want to show you the easiest way to trade. We're not going to overcomplicate anything or any of those things, right? We're just going to I'm going to show you the easiest way to trade to make profits like this on a daily, right? Or, frequently. So you can see here, this is a screenshot from today of my profit and loss. Today I had a profit of $730. You can see I have it circled down here. That was at I took this screenshot at 3:04 p.m. today, 12/6/23. If you look down here in the lower right corner, it is 9:38 p.m., 12/6/23. So just to put the skeptical people out of the mix, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna show you the easiest way to take trades with these indicators. Very, very simple, right? This will get you into frequent trades and make sure you stay profitable. This is why I have a 77 to 73% win rate with all my trades. So what you're going to do here is you're going to look at this V shape and this M shape and the liquidity in the market. Also, the buyers and the seller. No, I'm playing. I'm just playing. I'm playing. I'm not gonna it's not overcomplicated. You watch people, they're like, oh, do this, do that, right? I'm not gonna overcomplicate it with you guys. Watch how simple this is. I call this strategy 3 the hard way. 3 the hard way, right? Very, very simple with these indicators, right? So you got what we're gonna do is right now we're on NES, which is SPY. We're looking at the micro E-minis. What I have up here is 3 time frames. We isolate these 3 time frames. We got the 5, the 15, and the 30. We isolate those 3 time frames. We got our support and resistance indicator. We have our solar wind. And then we have, this here is just here for just kicks and giggles. Like it lets us know, like this is this indicator is by a different trader. His name is Mr. P. This is something that he created. It's called the Holy Grail. This man, he makes a lot of indicators. This indicator is pretty on point. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna look at what happened earlier in the day, why I got into the trade, actually the trades, because the $730 that I made 400 of it the night before. So on the 5th, I made $400. And then in the morning time, I made $330, which gave me $730 within 2 trades. So trade at night, trading the day. So I'm going to jump back to the trade that I took last night and show you what I did, right? So we're going to jump back to this point, right? So last night I seen that the ES or the micro E-mini ES was bouncing off support. So I had I had my support come up here at this point, and then on the 30, and then I had my solar wind break through this 0 point here. The candles crossed over the ultimate or the Holy Grail Holy Grail indicator, and we entered, right? So what I did was I ultimately started it like this, right? I went down to the 5. let me place an arrow. Let me place. Okay, so this is where the support hit. This is where the crossover hit. So we're gonna go right here where the support. You see this horizontal line on the support. We're gonna jump down to the 15. Zoom out. Right here is where the support hit on the 30, right? So this is where the support hit on the 15. This is where it hit on the 30. Then we're gonna jump back to the 5, and we're gonna look at where the support hit on the 5, right? So the support hit. This is where this line is where support hit on the 30-minute time frame, right? So this is where the support hit on a 30-minute time frame. Excuse me, last night. Now, as you can see, as we jump back, support had already happened here. Support already happened here on the 5. So we already had our support confirmation on the 5 that the market was going up, was about to go up, right? But we don't enter off of the 5, based off the 5, right? The 5 gives us confirmation that the market is changing direction. Then we jump up to our 15. We look at the 15. The 15 is on support. Boom, 15 is on support. So now we got confirmation that 2 time frames are on support. 2, 5 and the 15, they're on support, right? So then we jump up to the 30. And what do we see? The 30 was on support. So the 5-minute went on support first. The 15-minute went on support afterwards. And the 30 followed suit. So the 5-minute pushed up on support. Okay, we got a 5-minute support, right? Then on the 15, we got a 15-minute support, right? We're like, okay, we got 2 confirmations that the market is changing direction. Then we jump up to the 30. Once we got that 30 confirmation here, letting us know that the market was on support, what we do is we wait until the 30 breaks above here on the solar wind. On the solar wind, we wait until the 30 breaks above here on the 30 on the solar wind. Once we do that and it's broken through, we ride the candles all the way up, or the points all the way up, or the bars all the way up, and that gave us 27 bars, which is, excuse me, 2,553 points in the futures market, which from this point to this point made me $400. Now, I'm gonna turn on the history. Okay, history of trades. As you can see right here, right? As you can see, this is my history of trades. I turn on the history so you can tell I tucked the trade. I tucked the trades here, right? I tucked the trades. This is where I entered. I entered here. I seen that my support hit on all 3 time frames. When that solar wind broke through, I got in at this point. I rolled the candles all the way up from here to here. That gave me 12 bars. 12 bars. Those 12 bars made me $400. I got out right here, right? Now, in the morning time, I woke up, I seen that I jumped up to my 5, right? I jumped up to my 5. I seen that my 5 was on resistance, right? I seen my 5 was on resistance, okay? The 5 was on resistance. I jumped up to my 15. My 15 was on resistance. Then I jumped up to my 30. My 30 was on resistance, but it didn't break through the solar wind until this point, right? So for the horizontal line. This is where it broke through on the solar wind, right? So we cross it out right here. So it broke through on the solar wind. This is where I got my confirmation to enter my trade. Now, as you can tell, I only held that trade. Only held that trade from here to here. Here to here. Remember, these are 30-minute candles. These are 30-minute candles. On a 30-minute candle, this is 1:30. This is 1, 2. That's 2. That's 1 hour. 2, 3. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 2. What am I talking? What I'm saying? 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I held it for 2 hours. I held this trade for 2 hours. This trade made me $330. And I held it for 2 hours. Now, some of you guys are going to ask me, why didn't you just hold it down to this point, right? Why didn't you just hold it down further and got in and held it down longer, right? I'm trading on Top Step. So my Top Step account is where you've seen the $730. Top Step, your trades are executed at 3:30 p.m. So if I would have held my trade until like this area here, I could have gotten in, got as many points or candles or bars that I wanted, you know what I'm saying, or I needed or I wanted from the market. But overall, I'm trying to get in and get out. I want to make at least $300 to $400 every trade. That's my goal, like $300, $400 every trade. Now think about it. If you're making $400, say you just make it a round number. You're making $400 5 days in a row. That's $2,000 a week. That is $8,000 a month. Let me put it in perspective for you again. If you're making $400 a day, that's 5 days a week. That's $2,000 a week. That is $8,000 a month. Now, you're not going to have a $400 day every day. Let's just keep it real. But if we were in the perfect world, that would be $8,000 a month. But overall, the strategy is very, very simple. It's not complicated. It's not overcomplicated. We don't have to overcomplicate anything. All we're doing is trading from support to resistance, from resistance to support. That's it. That's all we're doing. We're trading from support to resistance, from support to resistance, from resistance to support. That's it. It's not rocket science or nothing like that, right? So let's look at the market right now, right? Let's look at the chart. Now, right currently, as you can look right now, the solar wind is in the sell region, right? Because on the solar wind, the red area means sell, the green area means buy. So if it's above the solar wind, if the solar wind is above this area here, it is in a buy. If it's green, it's in a buy. If it's red, it's in a sell. It's common sense. So currently the solar wind on the 5 minute is below in a sell, but we're starting to get a support here. So what we want to do is now we jump up to the 15. There's no support yet on the 15. So right now, the market is in consolidation. As you can see, everything's moving sideways. If we move this here, the market is moving sideways. It's moving sideways. This is a sandwich movement, right? We're moving this sandwich wedge where the market is doing this. It's doing this where the market is moving sideways like this. So what we want to do is, like I said, we wait for our 3 confirmations. We wait until the 5 is on support, the 15 goes into support, and the 30 goes into support, but the 30 must break through just like it did here on the solar wind. Once this breaks through on the solar wind and it moves up, so you got your three the hard way, right? Three the hard way. We got the three time frames. We got our three confirmations, right? Three confirmations, three time frames, three confirmations that the market is going in the uptrend, or I'm sorry, on resistance or support on all three time frames, and that all three of the indicators are doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? So you have your solar wind letting you know the market's in the uptrend. You got your support letting you know that the market is in support. And then you see where this green line is here? This is the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is green. This is letting you know that the market's in a buy. Now, you look here, when the resistance came. The resistance came, all three time frames were on resistance. 1, 2, 3. They were all on resistance. They were all on in sale. The solar one was below the point here in red. So red, red, red. And then we have our Holy Grail, which is red here also. So it's red, red, red. All three of them are red. So common sense to tell you that the market was going downwards. This is the easiest strategy that you can have. The easiest strategy you can have. You're trading from support to resistance, resistance to support to resistance, resistance to support. Because what's going to happen, the market's going to go up, it's going to go down. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. When you're following the trend, you can trade my two strategies. One is support and resistance, where I'm trading from support to resistance, resistance to support. And then I have a trend following strategy where I just follow the trend, but I wait until pullbacks happen on the shorter time frames. So if the market is in the uptrend, I have to wait until a pullback happens on the 15 or the 5 minute or the 30 back in my direction to go back in the other direction. So essentially, I'm following the trend. So say I wanted to go, say I'm trading anything, GBP, USD, and when I'm trading Forex, GBP, USD is in the uptrend. What I'm doing is, say I got a 200 moving average. I have to wait until the 5 minute pulls back to that 200 moving average, the 15 pulls back to that 200 moving average, and the 30 pulls back to that 200 moving average and bounces back to go back the other direction. So I'm going to get into less trades. Because I have to wait for them all to go back in one direction and go back the other direction. But I'm only trading with the trend. So I could be waiting on a trade for the trend direction for a day or two, or maybe maybe I'll get one trade in following the trend on a Monday, but then on Tuesday, I got to wait until the pullback happens. And then Wednesday, I get a trade. With this particular strategy, you could take a trade every day if you wanted to. Now, you don't need to trade every day. It's not required for you to trade every day. But with this strategy, you could trade every day and find a trading setup every day. With a trend following strategy, you're going to find that maybe a trade maybe 2 or 3 times in a week or something like that, depending on what time frame you're using. But think about it like this: if you're on trading from the hour time frame, and the hour time frame is going in the uptrend, you're going to have to wait for three time frames to pull. Sorry, you're going to wait for 3 time frames to pull back for you to bounce off and go back in the other direction. And that's going to take time. With this, you're just trading from resistance to support. So you're not waiting a long period of time for one thing to happen. Like you're basically entering your trades off of going up and down, up and down. What goes up must come down. What goes up must come down. What goes up must come down. Think about it like that, right? So once again, I'm gonna look. We're gonna look at a few more instances because this happens on NQ also, right? So let's look at this, right? So as you can see, we trade from support to resistance, right? So let's look back at today's the 6th on NQ. Let's look back. Let's look back to the 29th, right? So this is 29th right here, right? This is 29th. On a 30-minute time frame, the market was in resistance. So if we jump down to the 15, we're going to find that same horizontal line. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Zoom in because I want this to be real. I want this to be accurate. So let's go back to November 29th, right? This is November 29th on the 30-minute time frame. So here's November 29th. And we're going to jump over to the 15. This is November 29th on the 15-minute time frame, right? So as you can see, there was a resistance here. There was a resistance here, just like on the 30. See where the 30 hit, 30 resistance, because you're looking at the vertical line, right? You're looking at the vertical line right here. This is where your vertical line hit right here, right? So we jump over to the 15. Jump over to 15. This is where your vertical line is right here, right? So this is where the vertical line hit. Now let's jump over to the 5-minute time frame, right? And find that same day. 5-minute time frame is on resistance. So all three of these time frames are on resistance. 5-minute vertical line resistance, 15-minute vertical line resistance, 30-minute vertical line resistance. This right here, and then the solar wind broke through. You could have caught all of this movement to this point. This would have gave you 50 bars. 50 bars. So this 50 bars with 2 contracts would have probably netted you probably like $600, somewhere in that range, $500 to $600, right? Now, let's jump up to December 1st. What is that? December 30th. So let's jump up to the 30th. So this is the 30th. So this is November 30th, right? Now this is 30-minute time frame. We jump down to the 15. What do you see here? What do you see? On the 15-minute time frame, this is where the support hit, right? So we got our support. We got our support here. Let's jump down to the 5. Our support hit here, right? You see what I'm saying? So it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science at all. You're trading from support to resistance, from support to resistance. So as you can see here, the support hit here. It went up. So what you would have done, you would have gotten the support. You would have got your first support, waited for your first support to happen on the 5. Then you would have jumped up to your 15 and waited for the support to happen on the 15. Then you jump up to the 30. Now your support has happened on the 30, and then you wait until your solar wind breaks above and goes and starts going into a buy. Once it's broken above, you ride the candles up. This is where you would have entered. It would have went here, did a pullback, and then it would have went here to this point and made you 27 bars. And you just rinse, wash, and repeat that. So Very simple way of trading. I hope this was very understandable to you guys. All the indicators that I'm using in this video will be in a link below. So you just click that link. That link will take you to a website where you can actually download. You would download all the indicators within a zip file, and then you can apply this strategy to Forex. You can apply it to crypto, and you can apply this to stocks. Also, you can apply this to futures. So with that said, hope this was helpful. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Push that subscribe button. Do not forget to subscribe for more content. All right, guys. Peace.